to the edge of all the scary videos, everyone. I'm your host, Swift Edge, and today we have got 4 videos from 4 of my favorite creators that create so many weird, creepy, cool things. We have got a new video from Manticore titled Imperfect You. We have got a video from Alex Kister, Botanophobia, which I'm assuming is a fear of plants, but the fact that we know what Alex makes, and it's weird, it's cool, it's creepy, I'm here for it. Then we got another video from Foxymations of the alternative endings to the fairy tales analog horror videos, and I would love to see them be happier and cheer, I really would. And then we have a video from Valox, the Return to Freddy's First Day. How many more first days can someone have before they realize they really just should have shut down this restaurant? We are going to start with Manticore's video. Hope you got your snacks, drinks, and are ready to go, because I am. All right. Are there captions in this? There are. Let's get those turned on. Imperfect you. Okay, I was like, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say you're me. No.
We are so glad that you have decided to take charge of your life. Please select the difficulty you most desire, and we will deliver to you the most engaging challenges. These hardships will require a new physical form for you. So after your first selection, you will wake up in your new body in less than 24 hours. Just in time for the sunrise.
Imagine this is how childhood begins.
In the night.
Looks like your difficulty easy.
Neighborhood.
You chose hard.
Watched as cars drifted by like whooshing phantoms on the street. I remembered an old childhood memory. I was 8 or 9 when I saw a woman clothed in 40s attire step out into the night. She began to walk in circles in the middle of the road. Silently, she walked, and I watched for only a few moments more before I dashed back home. For a long time, it was the belief of my young, superstitious mind that she was a wartime ghost, perhaps waiting for a ride to the ball. Yet, here I stood, in unfamiliar clothes, in the thick of the dark. Maybe she was another user of Perfect You, the program that promised the cure to end all cures.
To cure what,
A
death?
new body in less than 24 hours, just in time for the sunrise.
Interesting.
Had it already been a day? Where was the sun? Was the procedure finished, or had it ended prematurely?
It could have failed. It honestly could have been one that just didn't work out.
The slightest notion I had walked out during the operation. This neighborhood had no indication of Perfect You oversight, but I did feel different. Beneath the lamppost, I felt my new body for the first time. The fresh, long hair, the newly tightened skin, the smooth joints and taut ligaments.
I don't like how you're describing yourself.
Brand new lips and polished teeth. At first, I found it hard to speak. My voice had some adjusting to do. I had a feeling that it would take some time before I could claim ownership of this new anatomy.
How does that actually work?
Adjust to this renovated exterior.
Are they growing
But
bodies?
what of the interior? Where was I before tonight? What could I remember? Chinese woman from my childhood was the last fully intact memory I had left in my head.
What if it was like your wife or your mom?
My life up to this moment.
Or your sister even?
Rest and waiting for the right catalyst. Or had my life been left behind in my old body? I walked aimlessly in the night, paralyzed with confusion. The cars kept passing. The night kept going. Where was the sunrise? Deep in my mind, I knew that this would be the greatest challenge of my life, for it would never end.
Well, it was the perfect you in an imperfect world is what it really kind of came down to from the sounds of it. That is wild. I love how it was thought to be a ghost, but then it was actually a memory of someone who could have been you, or it could have been someone in your life of, like, again, a wife, mom, sister, aunt, a friend, somebody. So there's not exactly a perfect scenario, but at the same time, wouldn't you, if you were going to get a new body, wouldn't you want to remember things from your past? I don't know. We're now going to watch Valox's Return to Freddy's First Day. I had no particular order. All I said, guys, at the beginning of this was what videos we had lined up. I choose the order, and this is the order I chose. The Return to Freddy's. There needs to be a return to the matchbox and just... on.
It was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment. Unlike most entertainment venues, our robot...
Wait, did he get away?
For private parties during the day.
There's no captions.
It's your job to get the robots back in proper working
No,
order
he didn't get
before
away.
the following morning. You are now in the primary control module. It's actually a crawl space between the two front showrooms. Now, let's get started with your daily tasks. View the window to
Okay.
your left. This is the Valora Gallery party room and dance studio, encouraging kids to get fit and enjoy pizza.
Enjoy the pizza, baby. Ah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Stage. Press the blue button on the elevated keypads to your left.
I wouldn't touch those if I was you.
It looks like Valora doesn't feel like dancing. Let's give her some motivation. Press the red button now to administer a controlled shock. Maybe that will put the spring back in her step.
Nope. That's torturous.
Check the light again. Excellent. Valora is feeling like her old self again and will be ready to perform again tomorrow. Now view the window to your right. This is the Funtime Auditorium, where Funtime Foxy encourages kids to play.
Is that it? Okay, so when you do that kind of crap to the animatronics, there's a level of understanding of why they act the way they do. Like, why would you shock them and then turn around and be surprised that they don't like you? Now we're going to watch Foxymations, the alternative endings, and I'm very curious to see if maybe something cheerier could come out of this. We can always hope for the best, though. I mean, that's really all we can do is hope.
It's dangerous out here. It's better to go inside.
Yep. What if the pig doesn't survive? What if it just... Oh, it's gonna get so much darker, isn't it? That's how it's gonna go. He's just standing there, menacingly. I know it's the wolf that's knocking. I better use the gasoline for my plan. Turns out, it's empty. Okay, I hope I can kill that wolf. No, what if the lighter doesn't light? There's a lot of different possibilities. The door's open, come and get me. Come in! Come and face me! It's not gonna light. Oh, he caught it.
Did you really think you could do it?
I thought he could do it. Because he did do it originally. You look so messed up. This must be a sign. She's not gonna get away. I'll save you, brother. Yeah, like, what would be the dominoes of how this would all go if, yeah, the pig didn't do it, didn't kill the wolf. Gretel probably wouldn't have gotten very far. She would have probably started following the breadcrumbs and the wolf most likely would have gotten her. I was expecting the wolf to just run in. A brick house. Sorry, I was referencing the song. I'm old, leave me alone. Oh, that was the wolf. Yep, no, we're actually finding out the dominoes of this all. There was no even toying with her. It was just straight up. We can't rest. The bad ending. I actually kind of like that, of how worse could it get? Oh my god, it's very dark out here. Luckily, I have a flashlight. What if this is now the actual good ending for everybody? I need to hurry before something happens to Grandma. Oh, sweetheart, something did happen to Grandma. Don't talk to strangers. The wolf comes up. Hi, little girl. Pulls out a Glock.
But you can trust me. I'm your new friend now. Tell me, where you going, little girl?
Run. Just run. Bro! Bro! Come on, you bastard. What if everything did get stopped? Hansel, you maybe want to, like, shy her away from seeing that. It is still technically a dead, dying wolf. Come on, bro. I have nothing to say. Your reign of terror ended before it could even begin. Now, what about the witch? Well, speak, ask, and ye shall find an answer. Who's there? You have an AK. You can light her up, bro. Just shoot all across the body. He actually did it. I'm so proud of you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I love how they all look so disappointed, like, aw, shucks. My evil plans got thwarted. That's hilarious. I love that. Let's get out of here. Everything is okay, the pigs and everybody gets to survive. A good ending. That's a very good ending, to be honest. That's an amazing ending. Everyone is alive! Yes.
You know that didn't happen.
I know it didn't happen. However, let me live in my ignorance. I actually love that. I love seeing what could have gone so much worse or what could have gone so right. I think that that is beautiful. Now we're going to finish this off with Alex Kister's Botanophobia. Are you going to talk about the fear of plants? That's what botanophobia is, isn't it? I could be wrong. Oh no, it's green! It's green! It's a green plant! Can you explain it to me, please, so I have a better understanding? Not gonna lie, Venus flytraps are incredible. I love it. Anything that gets rid of insects in my house, really, I'm gonna be a big fan of. Unless you're a spider. Then at that point, nope, I don't want you. I don't care if you're helpful. I don't care if you're beneficial to getting rid of flies, mosquitoes, anything else. You got 8 legs and a whole lot of eyes. I do not want to see. It is nope for me. Did you get killed by a plant? Testimony provided by Stephanie Duval, age 27. Relationship to Delphine Duval, daughter. Is this actually all still within the Mandela catalog
When I
universe?
was a young girl, I had a crippling fear of plants. This wasn't a problem until my mother became an exotic florist, as you can imagine.
Hmm.
I wasn't afraid of grass or trees per se, but I did have a significant aversion to plants that my mother owned or studied.
Were they strange
These
ones?
include
Or?
Venus flytraps,
Oh, okay.
giant hogweed, pitcher plants,
Mmm.
stuff like that. And even though I grew up in the humid climate of North Carolina, I still managed to have nightmares about saguaro cacti. These
That's
days,
strange.
I can recognize the evolutionary purpose of these plants' defense mechanisms. Yeah, sure. But as a kid, it didn't make any sense. Obviously, these plants wanted to hurt me. They were oddly human-like, invasive and all-consuming, carefully crafted with alluring traps. It was terrible. If a person wanted to hurt me, I would be able to see the intention in their face and based on their movements.
I can understand this fear.
With a plant, I just hoped I was lucky enough that a seemingly harmless one was, in fact, harmless.
I can understand that
they
aversion and
belonged to a
fear.
classification separate from both botanical and animal life.
So,
It truly seemed like they were alive, you know, like
well,
aware of their surroundings.
plants are alive to a degree.
Feeling.
Not like
all
us.
with nothing to show for it. At a certain point, these thoughts became too much to bear.
Please don't tell me you burnt down the plants.
My bedroom became the only space in the house that didn't have any plants. There was a constant anxiety that plagued my mind throughout the day, knowing what was just outside.
That's messed up.
I eventually had a complete mental breakdown.
Uh-oh.
My mother never believed in my fear until that point. She was disappointed that I felt that way about her biggest passion. But after some convincing, she decided to get rid of all the plants to bring me peace. I felt so terribly guilty, but really eternally grateful for her understanding. She did make one exception.
Uh-oh.
She wanted to keep her sunflowers, which had just started to bloom.
Okay, but they're sunflowers.
I
You
was
get
okay
sunflower
with it,
seeds. You get to nibble
since
on
my
those.
extensive research showed absolutely zero signs of sunflowers being harmful. Plus, they were going to be kept outside only.
They also are good. Like, if you have a 3D printer, from what I've heard, is that they're really good at absorbing the radiation from that. So they're beneficial for certain things inside the house too. And again, I've also not done my
Soon
personal research
began
on that.
to
So
feel comfortable in my own home again. However, my fears and past experiences left a scar that couldn't be healed alone. I started going to therapy to heal this wound. At the same time, my mother began to resent me. She
Well, that's not
started
good.
making passive remarks that blamed me for her newfound isolation. She also claimed that I was going to therapy because of her, and she was upset about not being good enough for me.
oof.
I reassured her every time that it wasn't her. It was the plants. I obviously never told her, but she ended up being right. The conversations I had with my therapist became less about the plants and more because of my mother.
Maybe there was more care towards the
When
plants
summer
than there
came
was
around,
you.
The sunflowers bloomed quickly.
I don't like the fact that it's sitting there watching
My
you.
mother began claiming that she could hear them. I assumed she was referring to the long stalks brushing against the house on a windy day.
That's what I'd hope for.
She said they would speak to her.
Okay, that's where you chop them down.
I would laugh at her. But deep down, I was totally freaked out. She had never said something so bizarre about a plant in the 10 years she'd had them. Due to her resentment, I figured she was just trying to frighten me. She was the only one that knew my deepest fears, after all.
That's a good trick. That's a mean trick.
I
That's an
would
evil trick. I wouldn't
overhear her
recommend it.
having conversations. She didn't know I was listening to her. Turns out, it wasn't just to scare me after all.
Are you
She
telling?
spoke to them more lovingly than she did with me.
Hmm.
I felt betrayed,
Did they speak back though?
neglected, and I felt frightened again. I never had a reason to be afraid of the sunflowers until now.
I mean, plants get used a lot as symbolism in movies and shows for love and life, and then when it starts wilting, it's like, well, now we're seeing that fall
After
away.
this experience, my mother unexpectedly died of a heart attack. This impacted me way more than I anticipated. Despite the lack of affection she gave me towards the end of her life, I felt horrifically depressed. It took me a long time to get used to living on my own and looking after the house. After her death, I never went into the backyard ever again. I never watered the flowers. I hoped they would die as soon as possible.
But they didn't,
I
did they?
never bothered to check on them. A horrible feeling would wash over me every time I thought about turning the corner and seeing those tall, horrible stalks.
Oh, come on,
I
show me
knew
some evidence.
They would be dead after a couple of weeks. I knew I would soon feel alone again.
Where was your dad in all of this?
But one day, as I was cooped up in my bedroom, I heard my
You heard your mom's voice? Is this recording being erased? I got chills, man. Please don't do anything to scare me. We've been so good so far with no jump scares or anything. Okay, I just realized that I should have had this turned on, so we could maybe, because I don't know why I didn't click earlier to that, turn the captions on. It's saying music, but I don't think that that's actually music. I'm not able to make out any of the words. There's nothing in the captions, though, for actual words being said. Spay for... Oh, it's very much not dead. If the planet turns to look at you, then that's a good sign to run. Somehow that's a very dark room when the sun is just beaming right in. It's a trick of the wind. That's all it is. Trick of the wind, baby. Trick of the wind. How you doing? U for what? Is it supposed to be a sunflower? Is that an eye in the sunflower? Are you afraid of me, Stephanie? A little bit. A little bit. The fact that it actually became true at the end of it, that's creepy. I like that. If you enjoyed these, make sure to smash that like button. If you want to go check out these channels, link in the description below for Foxymations, Valox, Alex Kister, and Manticore. All amazing channels with so much content to just digest and have yourself a spooky, creepy, fun night of binge watching. But yes, link in the description below. If you have any videos you'd like to see me react to in the future, give me some suggestions down below in the comment section. I take every suggestion into consideration, and if you're new around here and you've been enjoying what you're seeing, why not click that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you get notified of my next video. I will see you all in the next one, though. Goodbye!